Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Couch Potato Queens Challenge, Chat, and Recap. I am your host, Josh Mendelson, and we are here to chat everything challenge. So excited. And I am here with my buddy, Mr. Doug. Doug, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. I am no longer in Columbus like I was last week. I had a fabulous weekend in Columbus, but now I'm back here in my home office. So this is probably where you'll see me most of the time.
We love to see that. And we have some people here to say hello to. We have Athrella. Hello, Athrella. We got Steven. We got a couple from Sophie as well. Hi, Sophie. We're gonna do in chronological order today, so we'll go there. I will just say though, Corey's face when he heard this partner's laugh was fantastic. I loved that moment too. That was everything. There was so many everything moments in this episode. There was just so much, so it's good. Ben, I'm officially banning this season from my brain. I despise these producers. I disagree.
Wow, why?
Maybe it's because I'm like back on this challenge thing and I'm watching past seasons. Doug, I started right from the beginning. So like I started at Battle of the Season. So like the original one in 2000. Okay. And now I'm on the Gauntlet. I literally like watch clips of it during work. So I'm starting right from the beginning and just going through. I'm binging the shit out of the challenge.
All right. Well, we need some more context from Ben of why he despises these producers. What's wrong with this season, Ben?
Yeah, Ben, tell us what do you not like about the season? Like, I'm kind
of only been 2 episodes.
Seriously, I think it's been good. I think we've been getting. I mean, yeah, we have like the Big Brother douche twins, Fessy and Josh, but like, I don't. It could change. It could change. You know.
Yeah.
There you go. Hi, Dana, and hello, Jessica. Still at work, but this is more important.
Absolutely more important.
Yes.
Work can wait.
Way more important. Okay, that's what we were saying. The producers play favorites with Josh and Fessy.
I don't know. I don't know how scripted it is. I think that the rookies are playing weak. I don't understand why they can't collaborate and understand that they have a majority. I blame the rookies a lot more than I give the vet. I mean, I give the vets credit too. They recognize that they didn't have the numbers, but the rookies could be doing a lot more. I don't understand why they haven't tried to form an alliance.
I mean, the vets made a good move this week. They definitely did. If the vets versus rookies thing is what's going on, they definitely did what they needed. But let's start like at the beginning. At the end of episode 1, we get Ed coming in. And at first I was like, I watched The Circle. I thought this guy's a douchebag. But honestly, I don't hate him. I kind of like Ed. What are your thoughts on Ed, Doug?
I am liking Ed much more on the challenge and the limited exposure that I've had on the challenge than I am The Circle. I will say that. So like coming into it, knowing that Ed was going to be on, I was like, really? Like, why? But I'm here for it. I like his energy. His energy with Nelson was funny. Nelson, I think, like taking advantage of that and like trying to make a new partnership. I didn't know that existed, but okay.
I didn't know that existed either, Steven. But I mean, you're only going to have it for like a month because that content's leaving in a month. So
then we'll just have to listen to Ed's like comedy routines, which honestly might be better anyways.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. So here we have Sophie saying like out of everybody from The Circle, why pick Ed? I think there's so many other people you can pick, but you know.
I mean, there's a lot of different other personalities, but let's not like Ed is jacked, like very muscular. He seems very athletic. Yeah. And I do think that, I mean, he's got a very good intelligence about him he proved it this week as well. So I don't know how many other Circle contestants really stack up to the amount of like athletic challenge contestants we have. I think like maybe years ago we could have seen different Circle contestants, but like the challenge has really become this arena for athletes and just like trainer, like they train and everything. So
do not jinx it and make them bring Christmas to it, because I will have a
oh
problem
God.
and it will never be Christmas again. Thank you. All right. All right. Oh, it was bad. Okay, so moving on. Yeah, I thought he's like a really smart guy. I think he's here to cause chaos. That's fun. Then you get Michelle, a little bit of her like attracted to Emmanuel. So Michelle's being Michelle that we know, little flirt girl, like the second coming of Parvati Shallow, which is what I've always said about her. So we have Michelle flirting. Kind of says to me, I think Michelle has longevity. It just depends on how it plays out. And at the end of the episode, who she's paired with, that doesn't look so good for her, but we will see with her. What are your thoughts on Michelle being flirty?
Yes, I love Michelle being flirty. I agree. That's her game. She uses it to her advantage, as she should.
Amen. Yes, Michelle. Then we had Tori and Kel's little flirtmans, which really is, I think, a theme of this episode, really, the Tori and Kels little thing. So, I mean, we can talk like kind of out of order with Tori and Kels here, I guess. Do you think Tori played this episode well with Kels, with the whole Kels situation?
I do. And I mean, we start and you can just see how upset Kells is that Tori is no longer his partner, which I think is somewhat personal and somewhat from a game aspect too, right? So it's hard to kind of separate it entirely. But losing Tori, I think, really just deflated Kells entirely. His chances with continuing to flirt with her, and just from like a competitive standpoint, he realizes that Tracy is no Tori.
Ugh. Ooh, Lord.
And I don't think that, as we're speaking of contestants that are cut out for the challenge, I'm sorry, Tracy, but I don't think that this is your arena.
Okay. I'm not. I'll get to my favorite person. I'm gonna get to my like hot mess express, but like favorite person in the entire place. It's coming. It's good. I might get canceled for this, but I don't even care. A good mark from Dolores here. Hi guys. So word is this episode is what caused the COVID-19 outbreak, or like maybe like the second quarantine. Didn't they have to? Do you know any tea on this, Doug? Or
I don't know any tea on this, but I mean that makes sense in the fact that like Nam left last week, and then who was Josh's partner again? I don't even remember. But Josh lost his partner.
Lauren was her name, but
Lauren,
I heard Lauren got eliminated for other reasons, not COVID.
Oh, see,
that's why she wasn't edited it all in. So yeah,
see.
There we go. Lauren didn't leave because of COVID. I don't know I know the actual reason, but it's for saying some things that weren't appropriate. So
wow,
they just didn't bring it up. So okay. So we got Ashley and Nelson hooking up. So about that, we'll just get into more of Ashley later. Ashley's cook-a-doodle-doo, but like I am here on the farm and ready. Like here we go. I'll say it now. Ashley is like one of my favorite contestants on the show. Okay. She's a hot mess. She's awful, but it's like it's so bad that you love it. It's like the movie Showgirls. So bad that you love it. And like Ashley is such a hot mess. She's such a disaster. Like she is like a tsunami and an earthquake and a hurricane all mixed together in one. That is just so fabulous. And I'm obsessed with her. What are your thoughts on Queen Ashley?
I think Amanda said it correctly, that she's a bottom bunk whore. And you know what? Some of us bottom bunk whores embrace the bottom bunk whoriness of ourselves, and she does that. So I thought that was hilarious when Amanda called her a bottom bunk whore.
I also I heard that there was one season where she like had the chance to like share $1 million with someone and chose not to and completely screwed them. I think that is so savage and incredible and iconic, and I am so here for that. And I would not be surprised if she's the same sign as me. I'm just saying, I would not be surprised.
Yes, she stole that money from Hunter, which was kind of the opposite of what Johnny Bananas did to Sarah, because like Sarah at least deserved it, and like I really wasn't. I mean, Hunter did deserve some of it as well, but it was just Hunter, so I didn't really care. Whereas when Johnny stole from Sarah, I was like pissed because Sarah did deserve and kind of led them to that. But you know what? If you're in that situation, you got to do what you got to do. So,
did you see the movie Zola at all? Do you know what it's about?
No,
okay, so
never
it's
heard of her.
Okay, so it won't even make sense, but there's a character in Zola that Ashley reminds me of. Like, it's that girl that I was in middle school with, and like we were 12 years old, and she's like, I want to go on the Maury show, and because I'm going to boot camp, like one of those girls, like you know,
Yes,
like
I know
Taryn
exactly.
Manning.
Yes,
like Taryn Manning in Orange Is the New Black, her character. Like literally, that's who Ashley reminds me of, and I am so here for it.
Yes, you can have your love.
Okay, yeah, Ashley thinks Hunter deserved to be effed over.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really. I mean, Hunter,
Yeah.
But Sarah deserved to deserve the money, in my opinion.
All right, there you go. All right, so next we have Kel's saying, okay, here's where we get into some of the meat and potatoes of this theme. We have a little like snippet of Kel's saying that like the rookies need to take control of the game. They're all working out. I noticed that all like the rookies work out together. You notice that they're always like at the outdoor gym, and Kel's is trying to bring up that like kind of like the rookies need to stick together because there are vets that all know how to get to the end of this game. It happens every season mostly that the vets get to the end and do their thing. And he's like, they think they need to get together. And on the other hand, you have Nani and Amanda and Casey wanting to bring the vets together to take out the rookies. So it's kind of a setup of like a rookies versus vets thing. So what are your thoughts on that going into the challenge beforehand? What are your thoughts of this rookies versus vets? Who do you think would come out on top?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, the rookies have the numbers, so they just need to organize and actually figure out a target. That's what I don't understand. If you're going to be together, who are you targeting? And also establish who your target is and bring it up in deliberation, which hasn't happened in the first 2 weeks. Like, what are you doing? And I get that maybe you don't want to make waves because then you become a target of the vets. I think that that's what's happening a lot. It's like, okay, well, you know what? Kells is making his own bet. I'm not going to jump in because it'll just be Kells. And then it was the same thing with Michaela. Like, Michaela's making her own case to be the one. And so as long as it's just that, then I know it's not me. But they have an opportunity here. And the more power and momentum that the vets are getting, they might be shooting themselves for not taking advantage of these first 2 weeks. So we'll see.
Well, rookie game, usually what I've seen, again, I haven't watched the show in a long time up until now, but based on what rookies do is they like to stay quiet and kind of take a step back, and for the most part, and let the vets kind of steer it and then jump in and see if they have a chance and try to slip through the cracks. And I think in this season, that's not really working because you need to be outspoken in that group and push it because the vets keep pushing rookies. They're going to keep pushing rookies. They're going to keep doing that. But the rookies need to like stand up for themselves and vote for vets or else they're going to.
Yeah. I agree that that approach worked in like prior seasons, but usually it worked in prior seasons as well because the numbers were just that there were so few rookies compared to vets. Like you couldn't infiltrate and have a rookie alliance that would stand a chance because you were just so high outnumbered. But this season, the vets are highly outnumbered and the rookies still aren't just gathering together. But we'll see if it happens. I think that there's still time because they still do have an advantage in numbers.
Absolutely. It seems like we have a lot of Josh hate here, so which is I agree with, even though my name is also Josh. I'd like to see the vets take Josh out. They won't because of numbers. Josh has done 5 seasons and yet to even make it to a final and won by only 1 elimination. Josh is not well liked by viewers, and it's so obvious. You're another one. What's your thoughts on Josh?
I hate Josh. I'm just like everybody else. I need him off my screen. I hate his whininess. I hate his I mean, we could go on and on about all the reasons that no one likes Josh if we really wanted to, but
like,
I think we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, my problem with him is he's delusional, and it's because he was on one of the worst seasons of Big Brother of all time. Literally one of the worst seasons. Season 19 was awful. I stopped watching it. It's one of the 2 seasons I stopped watching. 19 and All Stars 2. I stopped watching them. Funny, Christmas is the common factor there. But I stopped watching how bad it was. And he won the season, not because he played a good game, it's because people hated Paul. So he's delusional thinking he won, but he's on this, he's just a wimp. He just is. He's a little he's a biatch. Okay, like literally, like that's what he is.
Production seems to like him for some reason. I will agree with that, because this was a very Josh-centric episode for whatever reason.
It was. Like, I had to put him on on our thumbnail for this episode because it was very central Josh. But like,
unfortunately,
I'm just not. He just rubs me the wrong way, and I don't know what it is.
I agree.
Don't get it. All right, so we had that battle. We have Fessy on Ramadan. He was talking about that. So that's really hard what he's doing. So he's like not eating. Can they not like drink water or nothing all day?
I have no idea. I thought that was very interesting. I had no idea that was going on while they were filming and everything. And yeah, I thought it was good that they integrated that into the show for a little bit of perspective and everything. But yeah, I don't even know all the details of that. So
yeah, so Ramadan, I guess, like I think it's for like 30 days. Again, I'm probably completely wrong on this, but there's like no water, no drinking, no anything for like 30 days from sunrise to sunset. It's kind of like what us Jews do on Yom Kippur, but they do it for 30 days. I could not do that. No. And let alone during a challenge where he's like doing all this physical activity and not able to drink water. What you gonna do?
He did it.
Like, unless
he did it. Whatever he needed to do, he did it. So
all right. Well,
hats off to him.
Hey, good for him. All right, now, okay. Well, Natalie, we will get into Emmy very soon. We will get into Emmy in this episode later. But first, okay, for Emmy the icon, okay. But first, Julie Chen style, Doug, I think it's time for the challenge. Let's get into that. So
yes. So our daily mission this week was the heli heist, which I thought was fun. I really liked this competition. It was a little bit difficult to track and really like see who was doing well and who wasn't doing well. But the visuals were there, and I mean, they got so much promo material by having like the blow-ups in the background and everything else. And I thought it was a pretty well structured challenge in the aspect that like anybody really could have won it. I feel like, I mean, it was interesting. I thought it was a good challenge. What did you think?
I thought it was a really fun challenge. I thought it was cool. I think it like really spoke to the theme of like spies and that whole thing. And I mean, for me, I would have sucked at this challenge, but I would probably suck at every challenge. Like, I probably would have sucked at like the original challenges that they did, like Inner Tube Tango in the first season. I'm not a challenge type of dude, but this looked really cool. I love it. But before we got into the challenge, they revealed that Lauren was booted from the game, and they said Lauren has a replacement. And this nice ass car pulls up, and who walks out of it? Amber B, our Big Brother champion queen. What are your thoughts on Amber showing up? And Doug,
I'm back. I think.
Okay, you're back.
I'm back. Sorry, I don't know what happened.
So what are your thoughts on Amber coming back?
The champ is here. I love her strutting her stuff out of that vehicle like she had just won, because that's what she should do. I'm here for it. I don't like that she still doesn't have respect from the other vets, which is annoying because they were the ones that wronged her. So she deserves to hold some grudges against them, but I don't think that they deserve to hold grudges against her because she didn't really even do anything wrong. So that part annoys me.
From what I heard, okay, and you can catch us up on this because I'm not 100%, but for what I'm getting, I guess like all the Big Brother players tried to stab her in the back and sabotage her last season, but she won anyways.
Pretty much. I mean, they kept throwing her down into the elimination, and she won multiple times and came back. So yeah, like I said, I don't feel like the vets have a reason to dislike her because she didn't really ever betray them. they betrayed her. And so it's kind of dumb that they're still holding on to this, especially Fessy. But yeah, I'm glad that she's back to prove herself again. Not that she needs to, but to just be like, yeah, okay, here, I'm going to defend this crown that I just won.
Love that.
Let's do it.
Jen, I appreciate the compliment. If you're not already subscribing to our channel, make sure to sub. What you can do is subscribe to the channel because we go live all the time for every single reality TV show you can think of. And I might do American Horror Story too. Thinking about it. We'll see. But make sure to subscribe, like the video if you haven't liked. That's everyone watching. If you're liking and you enjoy, like the video. And if you're not watching us live and you can't be in the chat live, make sure to leave a comment below and let us know what you think of maybe Amber's return. Say, Queen Amber, we're here for it. Because, I mean, everybody's here for it. So, like, obviously. So
I'm here for Jen's profile picture. I want to send a like that way.
Angelica, yes. Angelica Pickles. Okay.
Icon in general.
Love that. Yeah, so back to Amber, though. They were jealous of her. She defeated them, and they resent it. Yep. But, like, she's a champion, and are any of them champions?
No.
Not even Casey? Casey's not a champion?
Did Casey? No, Casey won.
Casey won. The girls have won. The boys have not.
Did Casey win?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm making that up.
I don't know. I would think Casey won. Casey's a beast. They bring Casey back every season.
I mean, it would have been a team effort. I don't know if Casey did win. So maybe somebody can tell us. But
definitely made it to a 5. I know that for
yes. So the daily. Okay. She has only one big brother. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's bring up that daily.
Yeah, so the daily, the results of the daily, which were very interesting, and this is why I kind of wanted to get into it, to just show how everybody finished. So I took the results of each, and they shared the results for each of the teams, except for Josh and Amber B. For some reason, they didn't tell us how many gems they collected. And they didn't tell us how many gems Tommy and Big T collected. So I can't imagine that it was very high since they didn't tell us. And I don't think that either team did very well. But this was the order that they finished in. And so a few things I thought was very telling of this. We'll get into the Emmy blow up with doing so poorly. But they really glossed over the fact that Kells and Tracy only collected 6 gems. Like, that was really bad. Like, they did very poor. So they demonstrated that they were a poor team in general. And honestly, I'm surprised they didn't use that more as leverage, and to some extent in the deliberation. Like, oh yeah, we could also just vote in the weakest team. And the weakest team this week was Kells and Tracy. So that's also a reason.
They could probably sue us for different reasons, but that surprises me that Kells and Tracy did so bad. Like, that was shocking me because I thought Kells was like this big, strong guy. He's this big threat to all the vets are so threatened by Kells. It's like, that surprises me. There was another one that
and I think Tracy was really just bungling it and bringing him down. Like, Kells losing Tori really, really did suck. Like, that was really terrible for him, but that's the nature of the game. So
it really gets into this theme that, like, if you lose your partner for that round, that could be a detriment to your game. That could ruin your game. Like, I don't think he was even in danger when he was with Tori at all. People weren't even thinking about it, but then he's all of a sudden on a rookie team.
Yep.
He's screwed.
A rookie team is very dangerous, and that's why you see these rookies then, going after trying to pair themselves with vets. It's very smart, because if you pair yourself with a vet, then you've got some power, and you won't necessarily be voted in from deliberation, at least as of yet. So yeah, interestingly, Dolores, we haven't gotten much CT content, at least in terms of like being a threat. We'll see how well Berna does to be a compliment. I think that CT is a really good partner. He usually brings out the best in his partners. He did that with Big T last season. Big T and CT were paired for a long majority of the season. And Big T really thrived with working the CT. So it'll be interesting to see if he can do the same with Berna. But yeah, I agree. He's kind of just laying low right now, as he should. So we'll see what happens.
He does look good this season, though. I will say he looks like very daddy this season. I'm like totally here for it. Isn't he like, he has to be like mid 40s now. He has to be.
Yeah.
He was on Real World Paris in 2002 or 2003. So it's been 18 years since his season, and he's been doing the challenge since the Inferno was his first season, which was like 2003, 2004. He's been doing the challenge for 16 years.
It's a long time.
He's like the Boston Rob of the challenge.
Yes.
He's 41. Okay. He's been doing it a while.
Do any of these other results surprise you and by looking at them? I mean, so I guess we can talk about, let's talk about Ed and Emmy. Emmy.
Let's ask the audience too. Is there, or like the people watching, is there anyone like with what you got, what people got? Is there anyone that like surprised you of how they received Diamond-wise? Anyways, you said with Ed and Emmy.
I mean, I thought it was surprising that Gabo and Nani did so well. Also, Nelson and Priscilla. So that was a surprising thing to me to see them in the top 3 as well.
I think that Gabo and Nani are going to stay together for a while. I don't think anyone's going to switch out on that. I'm hoping not. I kind of like them together, and I think that he seems like he's interesting.
Yeah, no, I like that pairing.
Yeah, Ed and Emmy, though, was definitely a funny one. They're a funny team because Emmy is such a hot mess. Oh my God. Wait, was Ed and Emmy, was Emmy the one where she was like scared of flying? And she's like, you asked me to be the thing and like just made me do the thing and I can't even she can't even fly, like whatever.
I don't know why, but Ed and Emmy reminds me of Ed, and Eddie. Like Ed, and Emmy is it. Did you ever watch Ed, and Eddie?
A long time ago.
Cartoon Network.
Oh my God, yes.
Ed, and Emmy. I feel like Ed could be 2 different. He's enough of a personality to be 2 Ed, so we could call him Ed, and Emmy if we wanted to. But yeah, Emmy is very disappointed in herself and very disappointed in the results. She's a sore loser. She is, bless her heart, but she's definitely painting a target on her back.
Love that.
And because of her little outbursts, and she also, last week was the one to kind of go against the rookies and throw Michaela under the bus. Mm-hmm. So it'll be really interesting to see where this goes. But now she has a little bit of strength because she's no longer paired with a rookie. So
I know.
We'll see what happens with that.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, for me, like Fessy and Esther, that doesn't surprise me because Esther was definitely showing the episode that she's a smart girl. She's a beast. She's already made things. So like everything she was saying about herself was legit. Like, and I am here for her. She was great.
Me too.
This is a great episode for her. She's a word of reason. She's great in challenges. Like, I don't think there's a bad thing I could say about Esther right
now. I agree. That makes 2 of us. She's a beast. I think that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think they're going to be a very strong team. But at any point that Esther is not maybe as strong as Fessy expects her to be, that's going to be the issue because Fessy is not a good teammate. And that's what happened last season, and it's happened before in that, like, Fessy doesn't work well with anybody that's not Fessy. And I don't even know if Fessy works well with Fessy, to be quite honest. But so far things are good. But the minute that there's any sort of disturbance into being powerful, that's going to be contention for Fessy.
That kind of, I guess, maybe scares me a little bit on that then, because I really like Esther. So Fessy, if you do our girl wrong, I'm coming for you. Okay.
We all will.
I will catch you. No, I'm kidding. No, but like Fessy seems, the vibe I get is that Fessy comes off as like a total douchebag. When on Big Brother, he was like this big dumb guy who couldn't think for himself. Now I feel like he's like this.
Oh no, he's still that too. He's just also more of a douche, but he's still a dumb, can't think for himself.
Yeah,
person.
like he was really dumb on Big Brother, and like now he seems like he's kind of like evolved. Like he went from like a Charmander to a Charizard, like, but like without a brain. You know what I'm saying? That's like what I'm getting at here. Yeah.
I was not a Pokemon kid, but I smell what you're stepping in.
Thank you. Preach.
So I think that this is basically it from the daily. I mean, Fessy and Esther win. It was kind of close between them and Emmanuel and Casey. Although, unlike last week, where it was going to be a very different occurrence. If I don't think there would have really made much of a difference if Emmanuel and Casey won over Fessy and Esther winning this week. So.
Right. Oh, I totally agree with that. Like, but I think like Fessy and Esther being together though, I think was a good mix on that end, because I think Esther could humble Fessy a little bit on that, because she seems very intelligent.
I haven't seen anything that humbles Fessy, but
I'm pulling at straws here.
We can hope. We can hope that there's some humility that comes to Fessy, because he desperately needs it. So
I'm trying here. All right. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we had Fessy and Esther winning. One thing that I noticed or picked up from the challenge was Bettina having this like really obnoxious laugh that sounded like a mongoose. Like, I'm like, what is with this girl? Like, were you thinking the same thing there?
Bettina's laugh.
I'm like,
I'll need to practice it to do it better, but I just that is going to be keep Bettina for her laugh all season, please. I love it. I would be in the house making Bettina laugh at every possible thing I could do. I will agree. Way more ridiculous than it's a little less annoying, I feel like. It's just more like purely just like so obnoxiously obnoxious, but it didn't even annoy me. It was just cutely funny.
Bettina's laugh probably has an Instagram somewhere at Bettina's laugh.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah. Oh, I know so. Totally has it. If not, there's going to be one tonight. I don't know who's going to make it, but someone's going to.
Yes.
I'd vote her in for that laugh. I would vote her in for that laugh too.
No, we have to keep it around.
After like 2 episodes, it's going to get really old. It's going to get old.
I love it.
I know you love it now, but like things get old. Things get old. They do.
Fine.
There you go. All right. So I noted that Emmy's a character, had a meltdown. I think Emmy has like a meltdown the entire rest of the episode. And I'm like totally here for that. She's Emmy the train wreck. That's what I call.
She's just a meltdown in and of herself, for sure.
Oh, she's definitely a meltdown.
I mean, she doesn't get the nickname of a meltdown. That is reserved for somebody else. That happens at the end of the club. So if you want to get into that.
So we get to like before the deliberations, and basically we have Corey not trusting Fessy still because of their past. Like that could be a theme, and I think it's foreshadowing to something that's going to happen later in the season.
Yes. I also so this season, Josh, last season was very much even more, I mean, this obviously was in the heart of the pandemic and COVID because of people being disqualified for COVID. But last season, they had like an igloo type thing in the backyard where they went to as like their private club at night. So they would like go to this area to do like the club scenes. But this was cool. I like that they like rented out like a different place for them. So like they actually got to leave the house and go to a new setting, and we got to see them in a new setting. So I kind of liked that aspect of it. I thought that was cool and allowed for a little bit different types of game talk. But yeah, so we get to the club, and And then we get back from the club, and Ashley is upset at Berna.
She is so drunk in this episode that she's like almost to the point of being titties out. Like, she's that drunk. Like, she probably could have popped a tit and like been so drunk that she had no idea. Like, she was that drunk. Like, she was wasted, and I was here for it. Love her, love me, messy Ashley for life.
Ashley Meltdown Miller as Devin.
Ashley Meltdown Miller. I
so
love
perfectly
it.
coins her as her nickname. Or yes, Mitchell.
Ashley Meltdown Mitchell.
Mitchell, that's what I meant. Yes. Yes, that I feel like is much better than Millionaire Mitchell. It's much more deserving. Doesn't surprise me.
Work, Ashley.
Doesn't surprise me.
They're supposed to get wasted. That's when the show gets fun, when people get wasted on the challenge. Isn't that the point?
I guess. Although what was not fun, and I do need to call this out, was Ashley calling Berna Bertha. Like, I just felt like that did cross a line and was pretty insensitive to disrespect someone's name like that.
Yeah.
That I felt was crossing a line that didn't need to be crossed.
Yeah.
And so for that, like, even if you're going to be messy, you could still like, and yeah, I get it. She's going after the same man, but I felt like that was like really toeing the line of some like even more deeper things of like, culture and sensitivity and things. But it was just inappropriate in general. And I was very upset at that moment that she decided to go that route.
Yeah, she can be. I've heard in her original Real World season she did some problematic things as well. I didn't watch it, so I hope she's grown a little bit back then. She seems like she's grown a little bit on that end, but she still can be a little ignorant, which is like, girl, come on, get it together. Let's not be ignorant. Let's learn from your mistakes and own them. I hope she owns them, but I still like her, though. She's not just because I think she's like a great person. She's great TV. She has great TV. She is fun to watch. It's
Fair enough.
Fun to watch her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you agree on that? Like, she's just good to
I'm not. I could do without, but.
Oh, well, you're supposed to say that, dog. If you could do without her, you can say that.
I would say. I mean, I feel like I have said that a few times. But your love for her balances out my dislike. So that's what we're here for, and we are balancing each other.
All right, we're balancing there. I don't know. I still feel like she's the queen, but she's a little ignorant. I don't like the ignorance, but she does own a kingdom somewhere. I don't know which one. It's probably
Meltdown Kingdom.
It's probably a kingdom in the middle of like butt fuck nowhere. I don't know, but she owns one somewhere, so it's cool.
I mean, if there's a kingdom of butt fucking, I'm there. But
I'm there too. Apparently, OnlyFans isn't though, starting in October, but I'm there. Okay.
I am here for a butt fucking kingdom. Okay, that's where I would like to live.
All right, so all right. All right, so basically we get into the deliberations, and before that, Amber's talking about how she wants revenge, but Josh wants to bring all the Big Brother people together, and we get to deliberations, and who speaks up first? None other than Joshua Martinez, calling out Kels all the way. I'm targeting Kels. I'm like, dude, goodbye.
This was so interesting to me because obviously the vets got together and decided they were going to go after Kels, right? Like it seems very obvious. They went into this deliberation knowing who they were going to go for. Josh even talks to Fessy beforehand and says that Kels and Tracy needs to go. Then we cut and we see that Tori and Anissa are talking, and Tori has this idea that they should just vote in Ed and Emmy, that would be an easier way to go. Yeah. Kels confronting Josh. That was we get to the deliberation. Josh opens up, calls Kels out for making deals with both sides, and then Kels, I was living for Kels in this moment, And he directly asked Josh, oh, who did I make deals with? Well, and Josh can't name any of the names. And Kells goes, yeah, you think that if I was making deals with someone that you, Josh, would actually know who was happening with? Like, you'd be the last person to know. And I was like, yes, Kells. Also, I think that it was dumb of the vets to make Josh their spokesperson. Like, why are you having Josh lead the deliberation and Josh be the one to call out Kells? Like, have somebody else be the leader of this group, because they would do it in a much better way than Josh Martinez.
Here's my thing, Doug, is how do these people trust Josh or want to work with Josh? He's such a liability. Like, they know he's a buffoon, so why do they want to work with him and not just vote his ass off first? I don't understand the logic in this, that the vets aren't like, we should just toss Josh and then play this game. Because
they can't.
It's a liability.
They can't go after a vet team. I mean, now he's paired with Amber too, and they can't strike on each other yet. That would be
a real vet. He's not even.
That would really open the floodgates for them all being targets from the rookies. So I get that they want to protect him. I just don't know if making him the spokesperson of the group was the right move, but maybe it was, because now the rookies can say, if they do go after a vet, maybe it will be Josh. So I guess in that context, maybe it made sense, so that, you know, the rookies, if they do choose to go after somebody, would be Josh, and the vets really wouldn't mind maybe if that happened anyways.
I just don't like that Josh Martinez is on the challenge. I just don't like it. It just doesn't fit well with me. Why can't they just bring back the real world and start casting it with the people that should be there? Like, hello, this is.
I really thought that after last season, I don't know, or maybe hopefully after this season, we've seen the end of Josh, but who knows? We'll see.
I don't know. Wouldn't that be cool though, to have them bring back even like the real world with like a twist or something? Like, is the real world just like a show that just is just done? Like, it just will never be brought back again? Like,
well, they just did that reunion, real world thing on Paramount Plus, but I don't know if they're doing any new seasons.
It used to be so good back in the day. It was just like pure entertainment. I don't know if they'd bring back. Maybe Road Rules was fun too. I used to like it back in the day, but like the challenge was the real world Road Rules challenge before it was the challenge. And I really think like, well, I guess like the All-Star one is all the real world Road Rules people.
Right.
You know, the All-Star is like the All-Star, which they've just filmed season 2 of that. So we will be doing that as well.
I'm excited for that.
We'll definitely do All-Stars 2 for that. So
yes.
Here for it.
So in deliberation, and then Esther gets up and gives this great speech, which was, I was here for it. And she says, whoever she puts in against, you know, whoever the house puts in, she's like, whoever I put in, I don't want to come back, because she doesn't want that blood on her hands. And I don't know, I was really here for that. But we really don't get, it's very interesting. These deliberations haven't been much of a deliberation. You know who's going in both times. It was like, here's who we think. The vets go after someone, and then everybody falls in line pretty much and votes for them.
Yeah. And it's just, we all knew it was going to happen, that Kells and Tracy were going to get put in. I mean, it just kind of sucks. I think Kells had a lot of potential, or he has a lot of potential. But, like, if Josh wants someone gone, or the Big Brother people want someone gone, I guess that's what happened now. Like, now, it was like the whole Johnny Bananas controlling, and now that Johnny Bananas is on, and now it's all the Big Brother people that control the challenge now. It's just like,
yeah.
Is Johnny Bananas retired, or is he just taking a break?
I don't think he's fully retired. I mean, he's definitely taking a break. And he's still doing, like, podcasts and stuff on the seasons, too. So he's still involved. But yeah, it was interesting. They did show some of the other votes. So there were votes for Amber and Josh, which I tried to catch it, and I don't think they showed who voted for Amber and Josh. Yeah. There was votes for Amanda and Kyle, which was interesting.
Yeah.
And then there was votes for Emmy and Ed.
Yeah.
So outside of, you know, we didn't get a full breakdown of how the votes aligned, but they did show that there were some votes for those other 3 teams.
Johnny Bananas is hanging out with Morgan from.
Yes, makes sense.
You know, all right. But yeah, for the most part, though, the votes were a little. There's like a couple of random votes here, but the majority of the teams, I checked on Wikipedia, majority of the teams voted the 2 of them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But then next we get to, okay, so they were chosen, and next it's really the battle of who, you know, our two people, our two winners.
Yes, but we did get some, sorry to cut you off, Josh, but we did get some deliberation on who Fessy should put in. So unlike last week where we didn't get any context, or really they didn't show anything about discussing who should go down against Michaela and Michaela's partner.
Renan,
yes. Renan. But this week, Josh gives options to Fessy. He says Emmanuel, Coriel, and Ed as options for the guys, which it was interesting that he called out Emmanuel, but maybe just because he's a strong threat. And Coriel, I think, is unfortunately, because he's already been down there once, is going to continue being an option for people. And then he lists Berna as an option for the girls, which kind of makes sense as she's been involved in some of the drama. Yeah. And then Fessy, though, of course, can't be beside himself to not say Amber B as a suggestion. Right to Josh, too, who Amber B is Josh's partner. Like, this just speaks to how dumb Fessy is. Like, even if you wanted to go after Amber B, why would you do that in front of Josh when that's his partner? Like, they do kind of want to work together. I get that, like, if Amber B went home, Josh would get a new partner, but I think that Josh is pretty well aligned with having a former champion on his team. Yeah. And that whole moment, I was just like, really, Fessy? You're that dumb? Like, what is wrong with you? I cannot with Fessy. I can't.
He's an idiot. But at the end of the day, Fessy and Esther end up choosing Emmy and Ed.
Yes.
To take on Kels and Tracy. And I wasn't too surprised about this. It wasn't. I mean, Emmy was having a meltdown half the episode. So I was sure Emmy was probably going to end up going in just for television reasons. Probably production told them to pick her because it would have just been iconic. And also, I was excited that Ed got chosen because I wanted to see what he could bring to the table. I know, going in the two, you have Emmy and Ed, and then you have Kels and Tracy. Which team were you rooting for before they did the challenge?
I was rooting for Emmy and Ed.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, I was rooting for Emmy and Ed. I feel bad for Kels, though. Don't get me wrong. It sucks for him. And I do think that he could have gotten further in the game. I do think he was played by the vets. There wasn't much he could do. And then he got paired with a really inadequate partner, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that really sucks.
Very true.
But the competition, I liked this elimination challenge.
Talk about it.
I thought it was very good. I thought it was very even.
It came so close. It was so close at the end.
Were you on the edge of your toes, as Tommy put it?
Yes, I was on the edge of my toes, as Tommy put it.
Is that a saying? I don't think that's a saying, right?
I don't think it is.
I don't think I've ever been on the edge of my toes. I don't think that's a thing.
I'm like, Tommy, why are you here? You're basic. Yeah, you won Survivor, but you're basic. There's probably 10 other male winners that canceled, and they decided to put you in.
Yeah.
I would have rather had hung as a horse on 4 episodes Chris Underwood than I would have rather had Tommy.
Well, duh.
Just saying.
Yeah, I was on the edge of something, but I don't know if I was on the edge of my toes. And then I thought it was hilarious as well when Ed was solving the puzzle, quite clearly knew that it was a map of the world. And of course, Devin has to tell him, "Oh, Ed, that's a map." And I love that he just goes, "I know." In the middle of the challenge, just shut up, idiot. I'm not stupid. I'm clearly solving this puzzle and I know what I'm doing. I was living for Ed at that moment.
I was living for Ed during that elimination challenge. Living for him. I was like, okay, I like Ed now. I'm here.
Yes, I became an Ed fan in and of that moment. And I am also a Devin fan, so don't get me wrong. I love it, but I loved Ed just putting him in his place in that moment. So Yes, Ed and Emmy win, and then we get to the new teams. So let me pull up what our new teams are.
Yes, new teams.
Because this is very interesting of where we get to with the new teams.
All right.
So
where are you at?
Emmy is. Did I do it?
We're good. We're on it.
All right. So Emmy picks Devin first draft pick 2 weeks in a row.
Yes.
Girl wins challenge. Which man are you gonna pick? Gonna pick Devin. Which
Devin.
I don't know. I didn't really follow the logic in this one this week, to be quite honest.
Both of them made smart moves. Both of them are basically guaranteeing probably their safety for the next round by doing what they did.
Yeah, but I don't know if Devin. Do you really think Devin wanted to be with Emmy over Michelle?
No, I think Devin wanted to be with Michelle. Who doesn't want to be with Michelle? Come on.
If I was Devin, I would have wanted to stay with Michelle. I
love Michelle. Michelle is the Mish. I love my Mish.
Right. Her. So that, and like Devin was desperately wanting to get away from Tracy last week. Right? Right? No. Who was his teammate last week?
Who's?
Devin.
Devin was originally
before he was with Michelle.
Was he with Tracy?
Right? No.
I forgot. I honestly don't remember.
I don't remember. But I do know that Devin wanted to get rid of his teammate. And so, but that not this week. I thought he would have wanted to stay with Michelle. Anyways, I think it was a smart move by Emmy. I think she could have picked, could have picked Fessy. Oh, no, she couldn't pick because that was Fessy was in the agency. I don't know. I don't think it was a terrible pick. I do think Emmy and Ed both needed to pick vets. So that's what he had to do. And so then Ed picks Tori, which then brings back together my two favorite people on this entire season, Toriel and Michelle. It also just rhymes and it sounds so well together, but I am now worried because that's a double rookie team that's already won a challenge and already been a threat, and they are going to have to do some finagling in order to get out of this one in the next coming weeks, because unfortunately they're going to be a target.
They're totally screwed next week. Unless they win the challenge, they are going to be doing the elimination competition. There's no question. There's no question.
I think you could see it on their faces too. Like, as much as they also like respect and appreciate each other and like want to be teammates, they also know that like just the structure of it is not good for them to be two rookies on the same team.
Yeah, they're packing their bags. They're going home.
Hey, I don't think they're packing their bags because it's going to take a lot to beat them in an elimination. Okay, like it is going to take a pretty strong effort to take out. I mean, you saw Coriel, he literally carried 3 people on his back in the first episode, okay? He is ready to do that again.
Doug, I would love them to win the challenge and send Josh Martinez into the battle. That's what I would love.
Well, if they, see, that's the other thing, though. If they throw them down there against another weak team, they're going to infiltrate again and they won't be teammates. Because Coriel and Michelle realize that they can't be together. That's just like too bad. Bless you. Absolutely. So if they do get thrown down again and win, I think that they'll switch up and they wouldn't be teammates again. But we will see.
Absolutely.
We will see.
Yes, we will. Yes.
So do you have anything else in regards to this episode before I bring about the M in MTV?
For me, I mean, it was sad that we said goodbye to Kels and Tracy, but let's like go into the M of the MTV. Let's do it.
All right.
We're doing.
So the M in MTV, which they rarely embrace anymore, is music. And shockingly.
Millennials talking music. Loves it.
And honestly, I feel like the challenge, though, has done a very good job of integrating good music into the scenes. Especially the Challenge All-Stars on Paramount Plus, bringing in... Yay, I'm glad. So I'm going to try to do this every episode of just like pulling in the music that we hear because it's music television, people. We need to bring the M back to MTV. And Josh, which was your favorite music moment of the episode? Do you have one?
I liked Ride by the Vines.
Did you?
Yes, that was my
Did
favorite.
you just make that up?
Nope, that was my favorite.
Okay. I mean, I do like that they also give us like different genres of music, and they give some more lesser known music.
Actually,
but
I changed my mind. Pimpin' All Over the World.
Yeah, it has to be.
Question. And then during when Pimpin' All Over the World happened, we had Tasha wearing that just Fabulous.
Yes.
And Tasha was just like working it. I'm like,
yes.
Honey, yes.
Don't lie to me anymore, Josh, and say that Ride by the Vines was your favorite song. I'll call you out every time.
It was Pimpin' All Over the World, but only because of Queen Tasha. Like, that's like the only reason. Because her style is on point, mama. I am here for her.
I was almost going to gather the best looks of the episode that we could vote on, because there were some ones that were slaying, and I was here for it. Yes, I love the looks.
I need to start watching this Big Brother Nigeria. I need to start watching it.
Yeah.
Work.
Yes, work. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens next week. They kind of teased a little bit that like the rookies might be starting to form something. I don't know. I really think that needs to happen at some point. If there's any chance of, they have to. And maybe it'll be interesting to see, like, what if next week Michelle and Coriel get in power? Then what happens? That would be like a very interesting scenario.
I'd be here for it. Let's send Josh into the elimination station.
Oh my God, yes, please.
Love it. All right, so that concludes our episode for today. But first, Doug, where can our audience and viewers that love you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DOFURG. That's Doferg. On both Twitter and Instagram, and I will be probably tweeting this live episode of Big Brother tonight, which I'm kind of excited for. I'm hoping that we get a good one.
Love it. I will be doing that too.
Perfect.
Guys, we are on basically 6 out of 7 days a week. I apologize that I've taken a couple day hiatus throughout the week. I needed a few days off just to chill, but I'm back today. Me and Alex are going to be back. It is Alex's birthday.
So yes! Happy birthday, Alex!
Happy birthday, Alex. So we are going to be celebrating her birthday as our eviction show right after the Big Brother episode. So at 9 p.m., so in about an hour and 15 minutes, we are going live. So come by, say happy birthday to Alex. We're going to party. We're going to talk about the winner of the HOH. If hopefully we get an HOH this week on eviction night. We'll talk about the evictee, everything going on Big Brother. On Friday night, tomorrow, we have Drag Race at 10:15. And then at 11:30, we usually go live with Jolene. But this week, we're going to be doing our own show. Jolene is out of town, so we will still be doing it on Friday at 11:30, Big Brother live feed night. You guys know our schedule. Monday night, Bachelor in Paradise, whatever. Y'all know what we do. You guys can follow me directly at Mendels8. That's MENDELS, the number 8. And you can follow us on Twitter, Couch Potato Queens, QWNC. On Instagram, Queens, QUEENS. And subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribing. If you're checking us out for the first time and you want to see some fun videos, subscribe. Everyone make sure to like the video. Comment below if you're not watching it live. Let us know your thoughts on the episode. We would love to hear it. We always comment back too. We're really good with interacting with our viewers. We really like to do that here. But with that, guys, that concludes our episode. I will be seeing you in about an hour and 15 minutes after the Big Brother episode. We love you, and don't let anyone steal your sparkle. Have a good night, everybody.